Hello everyone and welcome to this devlog. So, today I'm going to talk about the progress of my game. Okay, so let's do a little explanation of the game. You are the survivor of a post-apocalyptic world in which humanity has turned into undead. Your objective is to go to point B to retrieve a precious object that must be brought back to point A. Your enemies are very powerful, so you must use the strategy and the tools at your disposal to accomplish your mission. Every noise you make increases the difficulty of the game. Please take 5 seconds to wishlist the game, it would help me a lot. Thanks. During the last months, I focused on the basic gameplay. In particular, I built a world player management system with the camera, the movements, the weapons, the drop, etc. First of all, I implemented the player's movements. They are made according to the camera angle. The player can use the directional keys to move. The basic animation have also been added. Via different key animations, the player can walk slowly, walk, or run. At the moment, as you can see, the player seems to slide a bit when moving depending on the orientation of the character. I'll try to fix this in the next few days. Basically, I added an IK system on the arm of my character. The game engine I'm using doesn't necessarily appreciate rig animations. Also, for a top-down view game, the notion of straight aiming doesn't seem that important, since the perspective doesn't allow you to really see the aiming angle. So for now, I'll stick to the classic animation with just IK on the second hand for the placement on the items. The management of the view has also been implemented. The orientation of the player is done according to the position of the mouse, or according to the orientation of the right stick on the controller. However, when the player sprints, the orientation is blocked in the direction he is heading. The player has classic animations for the movements, and according to the weapon he uses, the animations adapt. According to my personal preferences, games with a top-down view are more enjoyable to play with the controller when they have a top-down view. So I took some time to make a controller a pleasant device to use in the game. All actions are present. However, I still have difficulties with the positioning of the cursor with joysticks. For example, I would like the grenade to be thrown where the player aims. With a mouse, the player can place his cursor where he wants. But with joysticks, it becomes a bit more complex. For now, a fixed force will be assigned when the player uses a joystick. A very basic life system has been implemented. Players and entities can take damage. The maximum amount of HP is changeable for each entity. The weapon system has also been created. It manages firearms, melee weapons, and grenades. Each type of weapon has its own characteristics and allows to create several weapons with different specificities. As explained earlier, depending on the weapon selected, the animations change according to the type of weapon. The weapon itself is also animated, even if it's not necessarily visible from the top-down view. Depending on the type of weapon, actions have been set up. For example, the primary action of a weapon is shooting. The primary action of a grenade is throwing. Each weapon or item has several actions which are assigned according to the type. The player is able to drop and pick up items on the ground. During the game, the player will be able to adapt and change weapons if necessary. The development of the game is going pretty well. I'm able to focus on specific themes and get to the end, except for a few issues with animations and weapon orientation. The player part is almost finished. The player can move, use weapons, and receive damage. So the next step is to manage the enemies with all the notion of AI, animations, death, attack, characteristics, etc. And yeah, hit that like button and subscribe if you're not. Thanks for watching.